Hey guys, welcome back with Mark Jackson for some more Vampyr. It's been, I must confess, I have never really quite played a game, I suppose, quite like this before. There's a lot of talking in it, and chances are there's going to be a lot more this episode, but I really like getting to know the characters and stuff. So yeah, we're back at Pembroke Hospital, and I was doing some thinking about Pembroke Hospital. If Pembroke Hospital... Yeah, let me try and put this in context for you. This is Pembroke Hospital, this rundown shithole of a hospital. This is what hospitals nowadays would look like for two things. But there's, two different reasons. Number one is, well, it has two components. You'd have to have a world war, and you'd have to have Spanish flu, of course. That's number one. Number two is if Bernie Sanders got his health plan approved, if he was elected and got approved. So only takes one for the second. But yeah. This is what the healthcare system would look like. And I'll tell you what, in all seriousness, the UK, Britain better look out, because the Liberals keep winning over there. You know, it might just start looking like 1918 London. All right. So, census, we got a lot of people to talk about, a lot of people to talk to. Pippa Hawkins. I want to get some of the unknown people into the system here, so we have them in our tree.
Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal.
Whoa. Wow.
You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon?
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
You're a liberal. That's another thing I'm going to do. Guys, I broke out a really high-tech piece of equipment to keep track of these people, who I'm going to eat, who I'm not going to eat, how I feel about them, and all the rest of it. And I'm going to be going through that in the middle of each episode. I'll cut that, don't worry. But yeah, that high-tech piece of equipment that I've got is called a pen and a piece of paper.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
I believe I'm an attack helicopter. Or a meat popsicle. It depends on the day, you know. I mean, Mark Jackson identifies as all sorts of different things, so...
Please, describe to me how you feel. What is it like to be a vampire?
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
That's what happens to anybody that drinks natty ice.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard's syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never.
It's a mental illness discovered by a French neurologist named Jules Cotard. The affected patients are delusional. They believe that they are putrefying, that they are dead, a ghost or a ghoul.
Like
or
CNN?
In your case, a vampire.
Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty.
New hint
mortal.
available.
You
Cool.
can't even begin.
All right. Yeah, well, her blood quality is quite a bit better than I thought it would. Social circle, Thomas Elwood. Okay. That's another thing I noticed, and I'll get to it after this conversation, is that people are in groups.
To understand the concept of immortality. And you think it is I who am delusional.
I'm sure you guys have noticed it too. But we got a hint.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here. Am I right, Miss Howcroft?
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies. I can leave whenever I want. As a woman, a spirit, fog, or bat.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby. I feel them watching me every time I visit the garden near the morgue.
Well, she's got a point there.
The staff here are not your enemy. They're here to help you, to care for you.
I'm not speaking of the doctors in white. I'm speaking of the men and women who hunt me. For I am a vampire.
I see. Don't worry. These people will not find you here. I'll personally make sure they leave you alone.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them, for you are no match for those that hunt me.
We do kind of suck at combat. Well, not we, boys and girls, me. We did get a hint.
I'm assuming you must be a patient here.
It's only a...
No, Pat. Maybe that hint is for somebody else. Personal. Okay, here we go.
Who are you really, Miss Howcroft? I mean, apart from being a vampire.
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal? What do you require? Proof of my powers?
I'm
Yep, fold at the
curious
waist.
to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
Fold at the waist, we'll see if it's cold or not.
Centuries of unholy life can have strange effects on one's minds, you see?
Forget I said that. Alright, so we're done with her.
I'll leave you, Mistress of the Dark, to your nocturnal activities.
I wanna... Okay, it was just kind of a glitch. I was wondering about the white hair in the back. And we already looked at that poster. Alright, this is unknown. Another unknown. We also... Look, there's a guy that faked an autopsy in the previous episode. We discovered that examining a body in the morgue in the previous episode. I did want to find him. I know he's a doctor, so... Dorothy Crane, unknown. Who's this?
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed? Yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Ackroyd.
It's not
Welcome
him.
aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Ackroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansey's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Ouch. Well, we got to talk to everybody. I'm imagining that the chit-chat is going to be a little bit less as the game goes on, since we're going to be meeting... We've already dug into all these people and what have you, so... But I think, you know, I mean, it's a fair bet that we're going to be having long conversations the entire game. And hey, that's a big part of the game, and I like it, so I hope you guys hang in there.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Ackroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansey has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Alright, another thing that I noticed is these, every once in a while I get these speech options with the Y, and I think this is going to change. This is like a story thing where it's going to change from there on in, the importance of this character to us, or what relevance said characters are going to have. So these are kind of like choices there's no going back from. Not do you any good, no such animosity, better change your tone with me. It's all about the kind of player we want Jonathan Reed to be. And right now this is kind of home base, so... No, I'm going to just tell him.
You are going to change your tone with me, my dear colleague.
Hell with that.
And very quickly.
I don't think so. Perhaps you think yourself protected by Dr. Swansey, but I am still a free man, and I will speak to you the way I want.
Can't argue with that, to be honest with you. He called us, and I agree with him.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansey, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Alright. New hint available. So, he's an asshole. But he doesn't mince words, so...
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, Or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I think it's
served
pretty
in
clear.
the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge has always been and will remain our main weapon. And it has always come at a price. And personal initiative.
It is not a question of initiative, it is a question of integrity.
I'm a vampire, man. I don't
These
have
men
any
and women have
integrity.
put their faith in us, Dr.
Not yet.
Reed.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I
War
refuse to
One?
see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress.
Anybody have
only
good
reveals the
memories in
worst
World
in
War
men.
One?
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
All right, so I'm gonna try that one more time. No more hints required. Okay, so we're
Thank
done
you
with
for
him.
your time. We'll talk later.
Lots of conversation. I will not deny it. We got another unknown over there. Another unknown over there. I do want to reel in these unknowns, and oh, that's who we got to talk to give the medicine to. We will do that, but who are you?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland.
Heck of a
I'm
name.
a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Yeah, you mentioned that. It's a version for modern methods. Ah, yeah, okay. We'll get there.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed.
That's number 3.
I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me.
4.
I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
I was about to say, you know, maybe this guy when's he going to ask me for an autograph? Now I think he's going to ask me to get down on his knees and do something else. Yeah, be nice to
It's
him.
always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Well, that's optimistic.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical,
New hint.
you may remain empty-handed, but
Take a look. His experience of blood transfusion have not been successful yet. But we got one, and his blood quality, man. Okay. And Ackroyd, who we're about to ask
won't
after.
fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
I tried to tell Ackroyd that. He didn't really care. Was
What
it in
made you
here?
choose to-
No, it wasn't.
this-
Sorry, guys. Back. And then
What
let's
can you
learn
tell
more
me
about
the
Bernie
pandemic?
Sanders
Well,
Central.
it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Oh, we're really good at it.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for
I
you?
was just
Oh,
about
no,
to say
Dr.
mule.
Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Side quest.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True, true. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
I love the stories and the personalities that we're getting from all these characters. They're so well done. It makes having a, what, how long is this episode going to be? 30, 40 minutes? A 30, 40-minute talk fest. It makes it fun.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy?
I thought so
Dr.
too.
Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
I agree with Strickland. I don't think we're going to eat Strickland. At least not now. All right, so... And personal questions require the... Oh, okay. Wait, we can do this?
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? Or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Tell me
I want to know it too.
Story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury.
Yeah, there's somebody
First
else we got to
claimed it was
talk
an
about
accident.
lying
But
too.
why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Okay.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Who else is thinking that Jonathan Reed here, our character, would make a good Jedi?
Do you need my medical attention, dear colleague?
You don't have to worry about me, Dr. Reed. I am here to assist you.
Okay, so...
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
Yeah, Dr. Strickland's going to go down on the list as somebody we're going to not eat. But give me all that. At least for the time being, we're not going to eat him. And then here's the dude right here that he was talking about. What? Yeah. Fiddick.
My sweet girl.
Yeah, okay, very quickly. Unfinished letter. And this is... A few words. Don't worry, Dan. I'll get out of the hospital soon. So this is this guy's letter. Let me prepare the... Okay. New hint available. Nice. Well, I guess Harry Fiddick's the one we want to talk to next, but I'm still looking for this doctor, and she's a quest giver, or where we got to return this parts to. Waverly Ackroyd. I might eat him. Not now, but I might eat him sometime or another. I want to go outside real quick. Man, there's so many people to talk to. Strickland's not the guy. I don't think I found the guy yet as the
Thelma
problem.
Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters.
Oh, no.
Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting a little off track.
It's locked. It's locked.
Nice. All right, let's talk to him.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague.
Supposedly.
Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
Oh, cool. got another vendor. So this is another guy that we don't want to eat. Or at least another one with attributes, whether he's good or bad. Wow.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by
We got to
silent
meet these people.
corpses?
We
Why
do,
should I?
boys and girls.
These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
A new hint.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
Can we back up? Let's trade personal questions. Wanna
Have we met
finish?
before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago.
Oh,
You were
Mary.
missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Not so much. She's either dead or turned. And I wouldn't call it a plot twist, but wouldn't it make the story more interesting if Mary wasn't dead, but was actually a vampire?
Do you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
I bet they probably got up.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Yeah, that's what we crawl out of.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Yeah, and they could get up and start getting jiggy with it. Your neck. Alright. Personal questions. See if there's... Yes.
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No, I believe we must do all the good we can while alive. For our time is short, and the obstacles are endless.
Do you think you would enjoy immortality as a concept?
I don't think so. Don't mistake me. I love life, and I'd like to live a long life. But everything has to decay, sir. Even goodwill.
So you're ready to die?
No, I am not. I don't fear death, for I won't see it. What troubles me is the pain my death will inflict to those I know.
You're a wise man, Mr. Chidana.
No, Dr. Reed. I am a foolish man. But I like to think otherwise.
Do you really believe goodwill cannot last?
As I said, sir, everything decays. If I was to never die, goodness, I would be bored or worse. And I like to be helpful, sir.
Quite depressing, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but the good news is we'll all die before losing our humanity, sir.
Oh, wow. You couldn't be more wrong. Let's see what
Please
he's
show me
got.
what you have to sell.
Of course.
Last time I checked, we were...
It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
Let's see. I want to see what we can sell. See, why can't I sell weapons? Because samples and ingredients I definitely I'm keeping. Lead rods. I could probably break that stuff down. Ammunition I'm not getting rid of to save my life. 14. I've been holding these things to sell for a little while, so. Okay. Okay, so they just stay there permanently, but you got the number down the bottom corner. So, alright. I can live with that. I'm not selling any of that stuff, so what do you got? So... some of this stuff, like this, would be helpful in crafting more of that fatigue stuff. I'd have to look at the recipe to know exactly what I'm doing here, but nevertheless.
It's locked, all right.
Yeah, I see that. Thanks. All right. There is a doctor that I'm specifically looking for, and he's an unknown. And so far, we've just struck out completely. Another unknown here. I don't want to talk to you yet. Unknown. I'm on. Get me out there. Okay. Maybe this way. Milton, yeah. There's more people out here, aren't there? No, there's not. Can I open this? Huh. Oh, can I? Nope, not that. What about this? Last files. What about you? No, I can't do anything with them. Already talked to her. Who's this? Tippets. Oh, we'd already talked to Tippets. I didn't know that. Well, Tippets, you got some explaining to do.
So it is true. The famous Dr. Reed has joined us. I can't think of any better news during these terrible
I don't
times.
remember talking
Do we
to
know
Tippets.
each other?
Actually, yes. We met once before at the Rockefeller University in New York.
Dr. Tippets, yes, I remember. I was assisting Professor Carell in his research about coronary bypasses. He had nothing but praise for you.
He was also very confident about your future. And look at you now. Eminent surgeon and blood transfusion specialist.
Wasn't it around this time that the stent for coronary bypasses was invented? At least the crude version of it. Check me on that, but...
What is the Pembroke Hospital situation? And please, speak freely.
This hospital is not exactly the best of London. I'm sure you are used to working in a better environment.
See, what's most important about all this dialogue and all this talking is trying to decide who we're going to eat or not. You know, and who's going to be worth keeping around. And what structures and units, and I'll show you that in a second, once we're done with this conversation. Same everywhere.
It's more than enough. In any case, the personnel of a hospital are much more important to me than the building.
Don't be misled by appearances, Dr. Reed. This hospital does not lack talented people.
Well, I've noticed that.
It just lacks hope.
I've noticed that too.
What can you tell me about the staff in the hospital?
Some are really good, and others are not so good. But during this troubled period, there is no time for slander. I prefer to focus on the positive character traits.
Any opinion about the management?
I don't always agree with Dr. Swansea's reserve, but I must admit he does all he can to keep this facility running during this crisis.
Ah, yes, the burden of command. I was fed up with this concept while serving as a medical officer.
Don't get me wrong. Swansea's a good administrator. I just wish he would get out of his office now and again.
Well, he got out of his office for us. Saved our butts.
Tell me more about cherished people, then.
Nurse Brannigan is a pearl. She is the most helpful and dedicated nurse I've ever worked with. A clever and cheerful woman.
You really seem to admire her skills.
I'll go even further. If she was a man, she would be a damn fine practitioner.
Wow, little sexist there. All right, so we got that, but there's something else I wanted to talk to him about. About your medical error, yeah. But first, let's do that, just in case he decides to run away when I tell him he's exhausted.
Corcoran, I want you to tell me about Mr. Connor. How did he die?
This is what happened
He was
last
my
episode.
patient. He died because of my mistake. That's the blunt truth.
Yeah, too much painkiller or something, right? Investigation updated.
What was the nature of the mistake?
It was a twofold error. My diagnosis was
dosage.
wrong, and the administered dosage was too strong.
Why not stop practicing?
Are you mad? I killed that man, I admit it, and it won't happen again. I have saved so many lives since then.
This guy seems okay.
I don't know. Some sick man from the docks, maybe a fisherman. I had no time to talk with him. No one claimed a body.
All right, and then was over here.
You're exhausting
is.
yourself, Corcoran. Maybe you should think about preserving your strength.
No, we must keep on healing all those poor souls. We are the last rampart before chaos. Once more, unto the breach.
I don't want to rat out Nurse Brand again. His attitude is irresponsible because if he's ready to fall over, how's he going to help people? Yeah, this is medicine here, man. This is for Keats, so...
Your attitude is irresponsible, Doctor. Believe me, I've seen so many medical errors caused by exhaustion during the war.
Exactly.
You're right. This is a war, Dr. Reed, and I don't intend to surrender.
I didn't think we could convince him, but... And... Just double checking. Nope,
Goodbye,
no more.
Dr. Tippett.
Alright. Now... Who's that? Oh, Clay Cox, and I wonder if I can make that... Yeah, at least now I know where he is. Maybe I'll be able to make that, fatigue stuff that he needs. Another unknown. So many people to talk to. And the conversations are lengthy, but again, I wouldn't trade it because... Such great guts to the story. And we're headed over this wing. Was it? No. It wasn't.
Nowadays.
Wasn't Thomas either, and that's Pippa. It was Sheen Hampton we already talked to. Damn, I was hoping to get out of the hospital. I guess that's not going to be to be in this episode. Where the hell was I going? Not this way. I wanted the wing. Oh, okay, I'll just follow the quest marker. Why not? Let's just do it that way, huh? Alright.
As for me,
I want to talk to this guy.
Good evening, sir.
We got some hints for
I'm
this
Dr.
guy, right?
Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see.
Yeah,
Would you
Ackroyd,
mind
the other
telling
one.
me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I
Yeah,
want
he's
is to
the
get
one.
me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Ackroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
Pretty simple, but yeah.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Why isn't we read his letter? Why are the kids with somebody else and not mom?
Are you satisfied with your
That's a
treatment?
question I want
Well,
on the wheel.
It's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable.
And your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
That's because we drink your blood. Really? Okay.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
Yeah.
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Another hint, that's going to be this.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army, building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I wasn't sent to the front.
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the construction site, but they missed their target. My wife was bringing my dinner when the bombs fell.
I feel bad for this guy. I do.
How are your children after losing their mother?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
I'm sorry for your loss. So many died during the bombings. I served in France and witnessed the carnage there.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have. Poor little bleeders.
We can't eat this guy. We can't.
Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
I don't think he's
Of
the
course I
type.
didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
I believe him. Yeah, I'm not going to be eating this man. I don't care.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
All right, well, we got to get in there, too. And that's kind of the end of this quest. But the first thing I wanted to do was show you... I keep forgetting to do this. Okay, succeeded. Did we miss anything? No. And again, just making sure. Yep, and that's right in front of us. But yeah, what I'm going to show you is that these guys are in groups. This guy is the pillar of this group. So obviously I don't want to kill Edgar, even though 6,000 XP is enticing. Even I don't want to do that, but that would be major. See, but what you do have is you got these guys off by themselves, like Clay Cox and this guy over here, that maybe the community wouldn't be too rattled if we led them off because they're not paired up. Obviously, these are people by association, not, you know, romantic relationships and stuff. Here are the two doctors that are treating Fiddick that are arguing, Strickland and Aykroyd. Aykroyd seems like a dick. Strickland seems pretty cool. I might eat him. Strickland might actually thank me for that. Don't know these two guys yet. And then we got Cox, who's afflicted by fatigue, which means that I need to go and... Yeah, I need to go and make that elixir if I can. I'm not sure if I can do that or not yet. And then Dorothy Crane for more in a different area. And then back here with the barkeep and the drunk. Oh yeah, and then the waitress and Tom Watts. Well, Tom Watts was the barkeep, wasn't he? And Sean, yeah, who is currently in the hospital with us right now. So yeah, that's how it is. And then we have this local investigations, missing ingredients. We got to go to the pharmacy. I was hoping to get that done. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Got it done. And we've talked to enough people. How do they fall? About the medical error. And that'd be outside. Wrong target. Find out who's spying on Thelma. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but if we track it out, it'll give us a quest marker. This game's good for that. I wish we could sell these. And then treatments. Treatment for fatigue. We could have given it to Cox. I suppose we could have. We got some points here to spend. All right, let's turn this in, and once I'm done here, that's where I'm going to leave it.
Finally, you've returned, Doctor. Did you find anything of value?
Yes, I did.
Yes, nurse.
You've worked your first miracle, Doctor. Now, this patient here needs immediate treatment.
Duty calls. When the storm has passed, I'll show you how to mix the remedy yourself with the same basic ingredients.
Many thanks, Doctor. When you've finished, you ought to report to Dr. Swansea in his office. He's been looking for you. Seemed pressing.
All right, diseases. Diseases decrease the blood quality of the citizen. Use the correct medicine to heal them. Speak to the patient in the room behind the door to check his medical status.
Good evening, sir.
That's very informative. Okay, we got a couple of people here. Unknown and, well, unknown. Before you leave, let me talk
Good
to
evening,
her.
madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr.
Okay.
Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick.
That's a hell of a
Would you
name.
check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses. That's all that matters.
Oh, money bags, huh? That might be advantageous to us at a later
May
date.
I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession.
Oh,
I
so
teach
you are
young
broke.
women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Oh, no, you're a feminist teacher. Got it. So you are
I'm
rich.
really that rich.
Getting rich off
Most of the patients here
Young,
are of a more humble
liberal
origin,
girls.
if I may say so.
Yes. Thanks
Like
to my
college.
husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
You keep saying that.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
No
Is there
shit.
something in particular that's bothering you?
Yeah.
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
Tell
Yeah.
me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital.
I love it when
What
he does
gave
that.
you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed
Pepper?
to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
Whoa. Pippa charged you
She
for a bed?
charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Pippa, you have some explaining to do.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Yeah, you have some explaining to do. I'm gonna... We already did all that.
Mrs. Goswick.
I'm gonna keep an open mind for now. And now we'll talk to my man here and hopefully complete
Good
this
evening.
quest.
I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No,
Really? Why are you here then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Like I said, hell of a name. Check the medical status of a citizen. Healing a citizen. Well, of course. So...
Do you need any help?
I'm afraid I may, sir. I don't mean to be a burden.
Well, we want to give him the medicine we found. It was hard-earned from
You are
yours.
not a burden, sir. Healing you is my responsibility.
And you have my gratitude for that.
Okay, so... Oh, he had... So he had fatigue as well. Well, that makes 3. Now 2.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you?
Yeah,
As your
right.
doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Ah,
How painful is your throat, Mr.
let me
Gosling?
get my
So painful
Captain
I
Obvious.
can't talk at all, Doctor.
Well, we have to talk,
I'm
man.
sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of
Right,
something
Jonathan?
more.
Jonathan's
Yes,
smooth.
maybe.
He's smooth.
But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
And we're not going to get any further with him.
I have to go now, sir. But don't hesitate to contact me if you need any help.
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Well, that ought to complete the quest. And with that, guys, I don't know how long it's been, but lots of interesting conversations. I could see why an episode like this or a game like this might turn some people off, but I'm really enjoying it, and I hope you guys are too. Anyway, I've been Mark Jackson, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.